I will talk about this article about Shang-Chi and its efforts to win fans in China has been somewhat dismal, according to the Global Times. If you may not know what the Global Times is, it's a Chinese government-owned news outlet that just basically just trolls every single government in the world, including Australia, US, and the UK. And boy, I tell you what, this is the most biased report I ever come across from this outlet. Anyway, Marvel's first Asian superhero fails to win Chinese audience hearts, showing that even Kung Fu cannot save a movie full of Western stereotypes about China. Okay, I barely see any stereotypes of China while watching that movie. It is a right decision that Marvel Studios' first Asian superhero movie, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, was not released in the Chinese mainland, because if the mainland audience had a chance to see it in cinemas, it's very likely it would receive the same reception as Mulan, a 2020 work aimed at Chinese audiences that met its Waterloo in the region. Shang-Chi is full of Chinese cultural elements. The most highlight part is that lead act character Shang-Chi, played by Canadian actor Simu Liu, saves people through Chinese martial arts or kung fu, but even kung fu cannot save a movie containing Western stereotypes and a character originating from a racist background when it was originally created for the comics. That character is Shang-Chi's father, who is called the Mandarin in the original comic, while the movie producers gave him a new name, Zhu Wenwu. The character is played by actor Tony Leung from Hong Kong. The Mandarin origins are associated with an early 20th century novel featuring Fu Manchu, a representation of the Yellow Peril in the West. This connection sparked controversy in 2019 when Marvel first announced the project. The film tried its best to distance the character played by Leung from Fu, but by having Wenwu explain to his son that he is not the Mandarin, and that the name was used by someone pretending to be him. Despite this, the movie is still based on the original comic, and the image of the character in the comic books looks nearly the same as the traditional image of Fu in the West that stands as an insult to Chinese people. So the explanation in the movie just shows Marvel guilty conscience and cannot erase the memories of its controversial character's origins from the Chinese audience, even though who are fans of Marvel. Okay, that sounds really strange because I don't see any. I don't see any resemblance with the what it looks in the movie and in the comics, because I can tell you, I mean, Winwoo's character looks nothing like Fu Manchu or Shang-Chi ever looks like compared to his movie version. Anyway, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings finally launched on Disney's streaming platform more than 2 months after its cinemas release in North America, meaning overseas audience will have an easier time watching the work. Sadly, many Chinese elements in the movie are likely to misguide overseas audience and might give them the wrong impression about Chinese culture, and similar to the problem with Mulan. The movie is like Chinese food in the US. It fits and tastes of US audience, but it's not really Chinese. For example, the film included several types of mythical creatures from Chinese fairy tales and showed them living together, but actually these creatures would have fought each other in a fierce battle if they were even ran across one another. Even the kung fu scenes aren't not enough. The action choreographers should have included more fight scenes that shows the different styles of kung fu. Some Chinese who have watched the film in places such as Singapore and the US have already uploaded reviews on Chinese media review platform Zhuban, where it currently has a low 6.3 over 10 on the platform. Oh gosh, I mean, this is really salty, I tell you. Though the story of the film is far too imaginary. Hollywood added their own misunderstanding of Chinese culture to the movie, but that did not please Chinese audience. Why did they not find more creative talent from China in Hollywood? That would be a good way to capture the hearts of the Chinese audience. Chinese film critic commented after Mulan has been released in the mainland. Similar reviews have appeared after Shang-Chi launch. If Western filmmakers want to produce movies about Chinese culture that it would become truly popular in China, they should do more research on Chinese culture. Well, I don't know about you guys, because honestly, this is more like a slandering attack on Marvel's Shang-Chi movie. I mean, I watched the movie, I liked it. I mean, I don't see much correlation with the comics. I mean, honestly, it's not really that offensive. And hey, they already did change the story arc of the Mandarin and Shang-Chi's father, which they created like kind of a different new approach, which they tried to distance from the comic. But honestly, there's nothing bad about it. I mean, to be honest, it's just a movie. Anyway, what are your thoughts on it? Have a good day.